Today we're reacting to Prison Game Banging Always Ends Bad Part 1. Today we got a Jay Williams Let's Live Life video. We've been spamming the Bill Feezy's and I love Bill Feezy's video. Y'all do as well, but you know, I also really rock with my boy Jay Williams as well. And I'm gonna tap into that new guy. I forget his name that y'all been wanting me to watch. I'm gonna do that as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure you binge the rest of the videos on this channel, as well as pull up to the Astral Dior channel and the Astral Dior Plus channel for more reactions. That being said, let's do it.
Y'all already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Gang banging in prison. Joining a gang. Getting out of a gang.
I don't know why. Why? But bro, we done watched so many Bill Feezy. Like, it's just so much. I mean, I see the benefits in regards to the protection, but it almost feel like it's better just to be a civilian in that situation rather than be in the gang. Because a nigga, one nigga that you don't even rock with in the gang, fuck around, wolf at another nigga about some soups, and now y'all going to war, getting, you know, hit up with the candy bar and stuff. Shout out my boy Bill Feezy, man. Man, I rock with Bill, man. I rock with Jay Williams too. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to take no shine away from niggas, but that he got, I rock with my dog though. I rock with Jay Williams. Let's get to it.
How it happens, how it goes down, what I've personally seen. A lot of people, assume that because I wear Bulls hats, Phillies hats, I wear red a lot, that I'm in some sort of a gang. I'm not. If I was, someone on here by now would have been like, Jay, you know you with us, why you ain't claiming us? I never got down. There's a lot of reasons for why I never got down. It wasn't that I didn't have the opportunities. It wasn't that opportunities didn't show right up to me like, hey, you need to roll with us. It was because I chose not to. Today I'm going to get into why I chose not to.
Okay, word.
What I seen going on amongst the gangs, how I seen guys get in gangs, why I seen guys get in gangs, some of the ways I seen guys get out. For me, it wasn't my thing. Before we start this video, let me make it very clear. This video is not meant to bash or go at anybody that is gang related. To each their own. Everybody does what they do for their own reasons. I got no problem with no sets, nor am I here to put anybody or their set down. That is your life. Live it how you want. And I'm going to live mine the way I see fit. It is bright, as you can see. The sun is doing its job today. Shout out to DGK Clothing. They killed it with the shirt. But yeah, we're going to get into gangbanging in prison. Getting in, getting out, and why I never got down. I know I'd have seen it. You know I'd have lived it. So, let's relive it. Damn, they whooping his ass. So y'all saw that. He was messing old boy up. But it has nothing to do with why I never joined the gang. I've been jumped God knows how many times. And I wasn't part of a gang when it was over. It was just I had a disagreement. They didn't fight one-on-one. Decided they was going to jump me. And that's what happened. It's also what's going to happen when you decide to link up. When you decide to come home. When you decide to join, you know, whatever organization has approached you. Whatever organization you've approached. Whatever organization you live around. Whatever you decide, that's going to be part of it. Part of my problem, and I'm not speaking for everybody. Part of my problem, one of my biggest problems with the gang activity I saw was, pause, Red Bull.
I be giving these niggas free sponsors and Jay Will, man. Don't be giving these niggas no motherfucking sponsors.
Gang members get hurt. And sadly and truly enough, when they would get hurt, it would almost always be at the hands of their own gang. Right. Unless they had some beef going on with another gang, something of that sort. It was almost always their gang hurting them. I've seen gang members do things they shouldn't do and get violated beyond what y'all just seen in that small video clip. I've seen dudes get X'd all the way out to where they have to live in the hole. They check in. Means they go to the guards, hey, I fear for my life. I can't be in general population. We're not putting you in the hole. Well, I'm not going back in the cell. Right. Well, then you're going to the hole. Winner. They go to the hole. Come back to them in 30 days. Hey, releasing you from the hole. I'm refusing. And they end up living the rest of their existence, their penitentiary bid,
in the hole,
cell all by themselves because they now can no longer go back in the general population. I'd say I first came in contact with gang members and the gang life at around 13 years old. And it was these Asian dudes out where I lived at. Primarily Cambodian dudes. And they had a set out there called UAB, United Asian Bloods. These dudes were deep. I ran with these dudes all day, kicked it with these dudes, skipped school with these dudes. But I started to notice something real quick. I've watched them jump other Asian dudes in. They all knew gang signs and stuff, but they really weren't about anything. These were 13, 14, 15-year-olds being led by 16 and 17-year-olds. So it became pretty obvious to me real fast that what they were banging and what they were claiming wasn't real. In 93, here in VA, you heard, dudes say they were in gangs. You seen the gang drawings and the spray paint on buildings, but there wasn't really no straight gang neighborhoods. We had another set of Bloods out here, Southside Bloods, that was all white dudes, which later on, everybody come to realize that's just something they made up. Moving forward, my real introduction to the gangs, the gangs would be when I started getting locked up. When I started hitting the jails, not the detention center so much. You had a handful of little dudes that claimed that they were gang members, but in reality, they were just playing follow the leader type stuff. Like if you picked up,
Yeah, my cousin did that shit. My cousin that stayed with me was banging crap. That nigga ain't about nothing. That nigga, I used to get on his. He used to come around saying that shit. I laugh in his face. Cause I'm like, bro, you and your friends y'all not even talk about nothing. But it's crazy because you got niggas that do that, and then you got real deal, and that's why I'm like, I know you, bro. You were just saying something. You fucking around thinking that shit cool. You gonna get your motherfucking head tapped playing.
Them up and drop them off on Grape Street out in Cali, or on one of them blood blocks out there, they'd be a YouTube sensation real quick. There'd be videos all over the internet about them because they were just claiming it because somebody else did. My time in Philly, back in the 90s when I first started doing time in Philly, casino gangs. I talked to my homeboys today, and I'm not gonna say they're not active in Philly, but dudes I talk to this day are like, nah, I ain't seen no Bloods in Philly. I ain't seen no Crips in Philly. This Philly, man. You know how we do. We represent the 215. It's Philly out here. We represent where we're from, whether it's north, south, southwest, west, whatever, northeast, whatever. They repping, that's how they're repping out there. Like I said, there could be gangs by now. I'm not active in the streets of Philly. As you can see, today the house I'm working on is in the boondocks, and twigs and sticks. See all them damn trees? Pretty sure some horses on the other side of the trees over there too. And just this morning, we were down hillside and they found a body on the corner. So we went from being in the projects this morning to out here. But anyways, I didn't see that in Philly. I started doing time in Virginia, and the gangs are active. The jail was flooded with them. And they were on some, you're going to get down or you're going to lay down. And like Siegel said, when you lay down, you stay down. That's how they were doing it in the jail. These dudes' numbers had grown so much, and the Bloods being the largest gang in there, that it was almost, at times you would hear the shoes scuffling 2-3 times a day from new dudes being initiated. New guys, just like that guy y'all saw in the beginning, in the cell, fighting 3 guys.
Yeah, whooped
They
up.
would crip, they'd be in the cell, fighting however many guys. All these different gangs were in the jail. Like the gangs legitly took over the jail. If you were not in a gang, you stood out. You were an easy target, unless you had shown people time and time again that no matter what, I'm gonna fight, win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna continue to fight. Unless you were a snitch, and they even beat them up at times, or you were just a cool dude, man. You didn't always have to be a dude that could fight. You could just be somebody that dude's just like, man, dude's cool as a bitch, man. I rock with the white dude, man. Nah, ain't nobody doing nothing to him. Dude's cool. Like the dude, Nate, I think his name is, from 60 Days In, that killed himself. Rest in peace, the dude. If y'all watch that show, y'all seen all the gang members in there. Nate never had no problems, but the other dudes was scary as hell. You hear the interviews saying, oh man, these gang members, they rock with Nate. He was a cool dude. I've seen that happen. I've had it happen with me. I didn't always have to fight. Dudes knew dude's all right, man. You know what I mean? Ain't no point in running down on him or doing nothing. Plus, he's gonna fight with us. They're always gonna go with where they go, get least resistance. Started raining, so I had to change clothes. But let's get back into the purpose of what we were talking about. Once you become a gang member, gang affiliated, all the friends you had, the guys you kicked it with on a day-to-day basis, can no longer kick it with you.
Damn.
The way they used to, unless they're gang affiliated. I had a lot of dudes that I wouldn't say were friends, but dudes that I got close to over time.
One thing I'll be noticing with Jay Williams and Bill Feasy is that like how they be saying, I wasn't aware of this, but like, these rules and the way people be moving and stuff, it varies from prison to prison. Bill was in Georgia, and he was in Virginia, and you can see the differences. Like Bill was saying, he was cool with you, they was cool with this, cool with that. It seemed like you can't even be cool with niggas only in your gang and there was a different time period when Jay Williams was in there. So it's crazy to see like the differences.
That would go on to join gangs, whether it be they become Crip, Blood, GD, MS-13, whatever the gang may be. Those being the main ones here in Virginia. When they would become gang affiliated, our kick it would slowly fade away. It would disintegrate. Here's the thing about it: being locked up, you're going to find yourself in enough trouble as it is. You're going to find yourself at times in situations that are unavoidable. There are a lot of crazy guys, mentally unstable guys, bullies, guys that are just looking to start trouble for whatever reason. And when it comes knocking, you're going to have to deal with it. That's one thing. Once you become gang affiliated, you don't really have to worry about that random guy so much, even though there are some crazy people that are going to jump out there and try you, not caring who you got standing behind you. It's not as common. With a guy like me, if I got a beef with somebody and they're not gang related, they're not no gang, me and him can handle our business, and once it's over, it's over. Once we fight, win, lose, or draw, it's a dead deal. It's done. Now, if I'm gang related or he's gang related, there's no chance that me and him are just going to fight. Very seldom does it happen. What's going to happen is the moment that me and him get to arguing, his homeboys are going to come at me, and they're all going to come at me, and they're going to dish rag me. They're going to beat me down, stomp me, stab me, fight me, whatever they got to do. They're going to do it to show everybody else, y'all don't disrespect us. You lost your damn mind thinking you're about to carry one of ours. It's a white dude. I do not remember this dude's name. We only kicked it for a short period of time, and it was towards the beginning of my bid. But he was a cool white dude, man. Street dude, solid dude. Wasn't nothing funny about him, He held his own. We meal, work out, talk. This only happened for maybe a month and a half. Then he starts telling me, he says, hey, he's got a homeboy named Spank. He said, Spank and, they talking about I can become GD. You should get down. Oh. They've already asked about you. I told them about you. They know who you are. I said, nah, man, I'm good. He's like, you sure? I said, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm not trying to be no
straight on that.
He was like, all right. Thought on it. Got back with him. I said, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. And I wish you wouldn't do that. You seem like good people, man. Like, once you join up, man, you can't really kick it no more like that. Like, you my homeboy. What you talking about? I said, all right, man, whatever. Sure enough, man, I'd say better part of maybe not even 2-3 days has passed. Probably 2 days. He tells me, yeah, I'm going to go up there. We're going to run the fade. And I'm going to get down. I said, whatever, that's on you, man. He came by myself, was talking to me. He goes up there. I don't even go out in the pod to watch, to listen. And like I've said, whenever somebody gets to fighting, you can hear the thumps from the fists, the feet, the sounds of sneakers skirting off, skirt, off the concrete in the cell. You can hear the bodies hitting the wall, hitting the doors, punches, groaning, moaning, grunts. I hear him up there, and he's going through it. He's up there rumbling these dudes. A little bit later that evening, he comes back by the cell, like, what's up with you? All knotted up. Most of the stuff he took was to his body. He roamed with the dudes. Now he's GD. That would be one of the select few last conversations me and him had.
Just
now
like that.
From me and him kicking it to anytime you see him, anybody that's with him is part of the same gang that he is. Anybody around him is GD. With being the new guy, and I don't know if this flies everywhere, but I've seen it here countless times. With being a new guy, you still got something to prove. They get another guy in there that's false flagging. False flagging means he's claiming GD, but he's really not GD. He done got away with it somewhere else, but he's done got here now where these dudes really are about that life. They know their knowledge. They're real gang members. Like, if you're fake, it's going to be exposed. Dude ain't no slouch, so I don't understand why he was claiming to be something he wasn't. Like, this wasn't no small dude. Probably in his late 20s. Looked like a street dude. Carried himself like a street dude. You can take one look at him and be like, yeah, the boy can most likely fight. Looks like he can fight. Various scars here and there. Got them rough old man knuckles, them old Clint Eastwood fists, right? So dude is out there in the yard, and there's a whole bunch of them standing out there. All these GD dudes are standing out there. And he's telling them, look, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, he's spitting his knowledge. And his knowledge being something that only other gang members would know.
His GD knowledge.
Validating what you're saying to be true. Dude is arguing with him. He's fighting his case.
Handshakes and some more junk.
I didn't sign up for this in Virginia. I was in another state doing time when I became GD. So just because y'all shit ain't right, don't mean my shit ain't right. It just means y'all's wrong. Ain't nobody trying to hit it. So they go talk to the main dude later that evening, and we have night rec at this point. Night rec, you get to go outside from around 6:15. Usually you come back in around 8, 8:30, 8:45 at the latest. They go holler at the main dude. It's just a whole bunch of average, everyday gang members that's surrounded this dude questioning about the stuff he's saying, his affiliations, and this and that. And the main dude tells him, nah, he's not GD. Y'all don't have to come to me with this, y'all supposed to, but nah, go ahead and handle him. We go out to night rec that night, and I told you, when you're the new guy, they send these new guys through more than the guys of the seasons, more than the vets. If you've been down a long time, a lot of times you get the option of if you want to jump in there. It's not. You got more say, so you got more rank. But with the new guys, they're like more or less like the foot soldiers. So dude that I kick it with, he's on the front line. They tell him, nah, this ain't no violation. This ain't nothing like that. Y'all just gonna run up on him and just punish him, man. Just beat the shit out the man. Run down on him, mess him up, stomp him out, do him real dirty for everybody to see. I can look at this dude and tell he could probably take on 2 or 3 of these little dudes if with no problem, right? So this dude's walking the track, got another black dude he's walking with, and they're just walking and talking, and he knows. It's obvious from the way the conversation ended early and the energy that was in the air that this is going to end bad for him. He's walking, but as he's walking, he keeps his eyes on them, and they approach him. My homeboy runs up first, swings on him, connects, hits him in the side of the face. Dude backs up. Dude put his hands up. Everybody watching. I think they had the same thought in their head that I did. Just in the way he cocked back, in the way he positioned himself, put his one hand up to protect his face, put his other hand out. That way he fight. Dude
he knew what the fuck he was doing.
My homeboy ran up again. Dude hit him one.
Wow.
You ever heard those home run knockout the park?
Yeah. Wham. Yep, I'm already know it.
Ball, that crack it makes from the bat hits the baseball.
Yeah.
Ball fly. That's what it sounded like when he hit dude in the mouth.
Yep.
Dude come running up and he just turned around, put his guard up, turn around.
Bow.
Hit him. When he hit him, he broke all this shit.
Damn.
Up, grabbed his face. Other dudes run up on him. This dude is handling these dudes, beating their asses out there, embarrassing them to the point that eventually all of them just rushed him. When I say all of them, talking a good 10, 15 people in this clique just ran up. They overpowered him, got him on the ground, started punching him, stomping him, kicking him. They beat the shit out of him. Meanwhile, dude that I know they got rocked has done walked off now, and he's holding his face while everybody's over there fighting. I can only imagine how bad that shit right there hurt.
Yeah, facts.
But not to the extent of what he had happened. He's walking around, holding his face. The tower sees it. Y'all know what happens. The guards come out, dudes disperse. Dudes laying on the ground, mangled, all beat the shit up. Meanwhile, the dude I used to kick it with, this dude ain't been a gang member now, not even a solid week. And this whole shit is just crushed. He's walking, and the guards are trying to ask him what happened, because he's holding his face, and he's clear as day something's wrong with him just from the noises he's making. He can't just contain it, like, just hold it, like, hey, just punch me. This shit's broke. He's attempting to tell the guards that he's okay, but with his jaw being broke, it's like, you know what I mean, on some Peter Griffin Family Guy shit. His shit is just done. He can't talk, right? He ends up going to the infirmary. He tells them he don't know what happened. At this point, he's not on the STG list, which is Security Threat Group. That's how they classify the gang members. They don't know he's a gang member. He tells them, I don't know what happened, man. I walked through the middle of something and got hit. Dude, I don't know who was fighting, what it was. I was just there and somebody hit me. I don't know who hit me. He goes to the infirmary.
He should have said he tripped and hit his jaw. Bow. He should have said he tripped.
He's got the wires all throughout his mouth. When your jaw gets broke, they wire your mouth shut so that your jaw can re-heal. He's got wires all through his mouth, but then wired his jaw shut. And everything he eats from this point on, he's got to eat out of a straw.
Wow.
It gets worse. Dude don't tell on nobody. Dude don't tell the guards who jumped him, what happened. They take the dude, they put him in the hole under investigation. They grab a couple of the little gang members up that they could, they could pick out of everybody else. The one dude that dumbass tattoos all over his face. He's easy to spot. You can't hide. Hey, you dummy with all the tattoos on his face. Come here. They lock a bunch of these dudes up. When I mean a bunch, 3 or 4 out of maybe the 10, 15 that was there. They lock the dude up that was laying on the ground after he gets out, the infirmary. He goes over to the hole in the investigation. Nothing happens of it. They let them all back on the yard. They all come back to the same building, different pods, different cells, but they're all back in the same building. Old boy that got his jaw broke is still talking shit. He telling the other dudes.
Come on, man. Save yourself, bruh. You just got your shit one hitter quitter knocked. Fumbling your face and shit. Nigga fumbling his shit. Come on, man. Don't do that. And it wasn't like you got hit with something. You got hit with fist.
He caught me. Like, had he not caught me, man, I probably could have beat dude one-on-one. Like if me and dude, you know what I mean, went head up, they're like, you did go head up. You ran up and stole on him, dude turned around and broke your shit. What are you talking about? You was the one that wanted to run up and be the first one. Part of the reasons I don't join no damn gangs. So he's steadily running his mouth, right? The dude that broke his jaw is back in the same pod, walking around him every single day, looking at him like, yeah, I broke your shit. So he's sitting out at the benches with some other GD dudes telling them, you know what I mean, once my shit heals up, I'm gonna have to see where dude's at. I can't walk around like this, even though y'all got at him. I'm gonna, you know what I mean, when my jaw heals up, and all I can think is, don't do this.
Stop,
leave this dude alone.
man.
You already seen dude can fight. Like, he was messing
got
all,
them
all of
bitches.
y'all to take this man on. And I don't, me personally, I understand why it happens, but I'm more of a one-on-one, up close and personal. If you beat me, kudos to you, salute.
Yeah.
Hey, you got me. I'm not big on that jumping people. That was young boy shit we did when we was young. Dude is sitting out at the benches with his homeboys and mother GD dudes telling him, nah, man, like talking outside of his mouth. When my shit heals up, I'm telling you, me and dude gonna have to run it back, run it back, run it back. Keep saying it, keep saying it. Won't leave it alone. Anybody that walks by can hear it. Dude goes over to the dude that broke his jaw. One of these dudes walking by and says, hey, white dude said that, you know, you better watch your back. Dudes like to add little things. He makes it seem like this white dude's about to do something to him, like he might stab him, like he's gonna attack him at any moment. So yeah, he ain't gonna walk around here with his shit all broke like this, like he's gonna get at you. Later that evening, we all go to chow. This dude's not going to chow because he's eating a special diet. They're bringing him liquids that he's got to eat. He's got to eat soup. He's eating what's that shit? It's almost like grits, but it's sweet. They're bringing him different things for meals, so he's not going to chow. I go to chow. I see the big ass black dude that broke his shit. He ain't going to chow. Think nothing of it. A bunch of dudes ain't going to chow. This ain't really a good trace. There's a whole bunch of different dudes that didn't go. We're in the chow hall, and I see one of the guards run out the chow hall. And when something happens in the building, they'll lock us in the chow hall if there's no guard in there, and they'll run back over to whatever's going on. They lock us in the chow hall and run off to the building. I'm still in line. I ain't even got my tray yet. So I walk over to the door, look out the glass. There's these bars and this thick plexiglass. And I'm looking, and there's a bunch of officers running to the building. Continue looking. 3-4 minutes later, they bring that big dude out in handcuffs. He's all cuffed up. They're walking him out the front door.
Damn.
Taking him to the hole. I see the nurses and them running as well. Right across the grass, headed to the building. A couple more COs. I see them bring dude out, and they push this damn stretcher in there. When I'm down, lift up on the wheels, I see them push that over there, cut down the boulevard, up into our building, up to the 7th building, over the 100 pod. And I see him come out, and they got the dude that I told not to join the gang laying on the stretcher. Knocked all the way out, all the way unconscious. Dude beat his ass. Re-broke all this shit, busted his face all up, and just made an example out of him. I don't know what happened to the dude afterwards. I never seen him again. I'm gonna assume that either DOC pressed charges on him, maybe dude pressed charges on him because I never seen him again, or he just went to another prison. But they didn't get a chance to jump old boy the second time.
Yeah, nah, he
dude
got his shit.
Ran up on him and got his shit broke that I thought was my homeboy. He didn't get a chance to sneak dude this time. He didn't have all of his homeboys with him this time. This time, all of his homeboys went to
whacked
jail.
him. Whacked him.
Why would I sign up for something like that? We did end up on lockdown that night. After dude got smashed out by the big dude, they questioned around why the big dude attacked him, why this happened. And I told y'all, it's a novella. That's Spanish for like soap opera. Like, prison's like a big soap opera. It's like a big college campus. Everybody knows everybody. Somebody said, hey, dude told dude that white dude was going to attack him. They ended up attacking that man, running up in his cell, hurting him, messing him all up. Another one of those violent situations. Blood once again. Officers back in the building again. Medical in the building once again. We went on lock. They realized that we got something going on between the gangs. Something's brewing. See, same gang members is the same gang that is getting into it with people back to back. Let's find out what's going on. Let's lock everybody down. Yeah, Williams lock his ass down too, even though he ain't got nothing to do with it. Yeah, him lock everybody down. Go through the cells, start looking for gang literature. Find out. Strip them down naked. Look at all the tattoos. Make them squat, cough, and show you the chocolate starfish. Bend over, let me see it. That's what we had to go through because of what the gangs had going on. It's back to raining again. But with this story, with this topic, with everything I got to say, it's way too much to just put into today's video. So we're going to do part 2 tomorrow. Drop a Thursday video for y'all. Happy hump day to everybody.
Let me see if he got it up
and
here.
As always, y'all know.
Let me see if he get if it get recommended. I'll cut it on right now, yo. Let me see. Here we go, right here. 33 minutes. I got y'all, man. I got y'all. Make sure y'all like this video because this gonna be an hour-long video today. Because of that, man. Let's do it. I'm gonna skip to when he talking though. Oh my nigga, young boy. That's what's up, man.
So he'll go back to sleep so that my few days the light doesn't disrupt nobody. It's on everything. The job that we're working at right now is an hour
Shout out all the dads out there, man. Getting
The
that
other
money,
gangs.
bro.
And MS-13, there wasn't a lot of them. But who they did have, and the guys that were claiming MS-13, I would say not all of them, but at least 95% of them were savages. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying in an environment where everything is ruled by violence, where violence is the only thing that gets you respect, where violence is the one language that everybody understands, they were by far the most violent when it came.
I'd imagine. That's why and earlier when he said MS-13, I said, "Ooh," cause, bro, like Mexican niggas, they'll violate. They get wicked, boy. Shit on my Hispanics.
Came down to it. I'd seen blood dudes jump dudes time and time again. I had been jumped. But when it came to them MS-13 dudes, seeing them fighting, it was a rare occasion. Not that they couldn't fight, not that they wouldn't fight, but their policy was, we got a problem, we're going to sharpen it with this. We're going to solve it with this sharpened piece of steel right here. Just bit my tongue. That was how they handled everything, with a knife. I'd seen them have a disagreement with one of their own and punish him by beating him up. Anytime they had beef with outsiders, the knives came into play.
Yeah, we stabbing.
I'd seen situations where they came across stuff within their organization they didn't agree with, and knives came into play. So without further ado, we'll get into gangbanging in prison. When gangbanging goes wrong, do's and don'ts, ins and outs. You know how to seen it, you know how to lived it, so let's relive it. Now what I'm about to say applies to a lot of things. There were things I saw that I respected. I have no problems with no gangs, no sets. A lot of homeboys that are active. I don't talk to them so much. It was more or less in the penitentiary. I know dudes out here that are active. But there was respect for a lot of these dudes and the things they did. When it comes to the gangs, like anything else in life, you're going to see things you agree with and things you just can't respect. Now, I got no problem with any gangs, any gang members. I've seen things I didn't agree with. I've seen things I didn't like. But hey, let's face it. That's life. You're going to see things at times, especially when you're not involved in it and you can't get involved with it, that you don't like. You know, with the blood dudes, my homeboy AD, Brim Gang. You know what I mean? My homeboy at the last spread I was at, Bounty Hunter. Homeboys at a Hoover. You know what I mean? I got GD homeboys. I've always stayed neutral in all that. Even with this YouTube, when everybody's beefing, y'all see the prison community, and I'm not going to say community, the genre, and then the subs from this channel, they're at like war right now. I stay neutral because I got nothing to do with that. You can speak on my name and I still stay neutral. Aside from you punching me in my face, all that stuff right there is just that right there. I'm not with it. With the MS-13 dudes, man, one thing I seen that they did different that I didn't really see happening with the other gangs is they stood up for the old guys. So did the Asians. Shout out to all the Asian dudes. When I say Asian, I mean that's everybody as a whole, the Asian community. And, you know, shout out to the MS-13 dudes. When it came to them, with the old guys, they didn't have to be a part of their gang. They didn't have to be affiliated. Just because they were the same race or spoke the same language, they would stand up for them old guys.
Word.
And that's what today's story is about. I've seen other gangs, you see, like, you know, with the blood dudes, you see like an old man getting messed with, and this is most gangs in general. They gonna say, well, ain't none of your business, stay out of it. You know what I mean? He ain't homie, he ain't cuz. Like, that shit ain't got nothing to do with you. Fall back, man. He's a man just like you. He got in here like you did. Let him handle his own. What y'all don't understand is that if you get sentenced to a life sentence at 20 years old,
right,
you're still there at 80. You're still there at 90. The penitentiary at times has got a lot of old guys in there. Guys that should be with their families or be in a hospital somewhere. You got infirmaries filled up with old men that can no longer control their bowels. Old men that wake up in the morning and don't even remember where they're at. Where am I at? You gave this man a life sentence and he doesn't even know where he's at.
Yeah,
maybe
that's crazy.
You should let him go home or put him in a home somewhere because he has paid for his crime. At this point here, he doesn't remember his crime, much less where he's even at. And you see that a lot. I've seen guys have to go to the old guy's cells and be like, hey, man, I be telling you.
I didn't even think about them. Like, I don't even be thinking about them elderly niggas. Like, the ones that are like 70, 80 years old, really going through their shit. I haven't even thought about that for real. Like, I'm thinking about all the young from the 20s 20s to the 50s, 60s for real.
You need this every day. You heard them call Chow. You need to get up. Let's go eat. Where are we going? We're going to Chow. Come on, Pops, get up. We got to go eat. Otherwise, that man was sitting in the cell and starved. Medical ain't doing nothing. Staff ain't doing nothing. They go home every night, eat their dinner. They stop in the mornings and grab them a Hardee's biscuit before they come in. So for them to walk by and see an old man sitting in the cell, that's so many people. They're not paying attention to what people are really doing unless it's violence involved or something that's just blatantly illegal involved. With the Asian dudes and the Spanish dudes, people keep saying, everybody's not Spanish. I understand that everybody's not Spanish, but with prison, you're categorized.
Yeah.
If your ass is South African, you're black. If your ass can be Irish, you're white. Italian, you're white. White, you're white. When it comes to the Asians, it don't matter if you're Cambodian. It don't matter if you're Japanese. They're going to say your ass is Asian. When it comes to being Spanish, it don't matter if you're from Venezuela. It don't matter if you're from Mexico. It don't matter if you're from Guatemala. They're going to say Spanish. The Spanish dudes stuck together for the most part. When I say for the most part, there were some dudes in there that dudes just couldn't rock with. Either because they were one of them characters you didn't want to deal with because you knew something was really off with them, or because you knew they had done something really wrong and it got out. And that dude's a rapist. And a lot of times, they would get out. There will be times where you have to be around somebody, you find out their charges, and just because you can't live with them living around you, staying in the same cell, you might react to it. But you're not just running up on dudes randomly like, oh man, I heard you had a sex crime, doing all that. That's not happening. Now the thing with the MS-13 dudes is, you never really had to question who was MS-13. You could just look and watch who they associated with, and that would usually give it away. I told you my one homeboy had it all the way across the back of his head. MS with a giant 13 right on top of his head.
Yeah, and they gonna get that tattoo. It's like they gonna get MS and then 13 on this side. They gonna get MS on one eyelid, 13 on the other. Like MS at the top of their head, 13 off the nose and the lips. Like they gonna tat they shit, boy.
Place I was at.
They rep.
Me and Chop got close off of the fact he was a good tattoo artist. I was a good tattoo artist. He wasn't just gonna let anybody tattoo him. So we clicked like that. The same thing at the camp I was at before that, the last prison. You had some MS-13 dudes in there that could draw, and that would only tattoo certain dudes. They weren't dealing with everybody because they weren't going to deal with the large.
My tattoo artist now, bro, let me say Mexicans, Hispanic people, they can tat. My artist now he's a Hispanic dude. I feel like California Hispanic dudes, Houston, my tattoo artist, he also was in prison. Now, I think he's no part of no gang, but he did 2 years, came out tattooing. He hard. I was literally at the gym last 2 days. Somebody came, both days was like, hey, bro, who do you attach? Who do you attach? My nigga tough.
Larceny, because they knew if somebody tried to run game on them, exactly what
Spanish
they were
know how
do
to draw.
Tried to run game on them. So I had a lot of interactions with the MS-13 dudes at that last spot before that one. I would hear different things and talking to them. I've told you, when you tattoo, I guess talking is the way for me as well. Talking is a way of taking your mind off the pain. I've got my armpits tattooed. There's not much on me that's not tattooed next to my butt cheeks and areas like that. Ain't nobody about to have me sprawled out like a sandwich, you know what I mean, behind me. I don't trust nobody that much. With these dudes, man, I took a liking to them. I knew that most of them had murder charges. When I mean most of them, if you put 20 of them in a group, 16 of them were convicted for murder and were not going home for a very long time, because it wouldn't just be murder. It'd be murder, drugs, guns, and the serious nature of the crime. There's a difference between somebody that shoots into a crowd and kills somebody, and like some of these MS-13 dudes I met that had actually kidnapped people, taking them somewhere.
They got the kidnapping and shit. Yeah.
That's a whole different caliber of murder. That Fisher Price, play pretend, Walt Disney, bust your gun, miss your target, hit a 6-year-old. That's not a murderer. That man right there that took somebody, put them in the back of a van, drove him 45 minutes to his crib, took him inside the crib, all tied up and hog-tied and blindfolded, and they commenced killing him. He's a murderer.
Yeah.
We have an old dude in my pod at the time, and this old dude is not no sort of a gang member, but he's got a gang member in a cell with him at MS-13. Dudes took care of that old man. When I mean they took care of him, they always made sure he ate. If they sat out at the table and they made a big meal, all the MS-13 dudes ate together, and I'm telling you now, it was not a lot of them. But when they would get together and make something to eat, they'd take it to Pops. Take it to the old man. Hey, make sure you take some up there to Pops and feed Pops, man. And nobody else gonna look out for him. He's one of us. Take it to him. Even though he wasn't one of them, that's their people. As I told you, his cellmate's MS-13. His cellmate, from the moment I seen them dudes rocking with him, I didn't understand like why they rocked with him or how he became what he became. But I'm guessing this is something he did in the streets. Came to prison, he's validated, so they got to respect it. But dude is not playing with a whole deck. All the cards are not in his deck. And if they are, the whole deck is just full of jokers. Dude is messed up in the head and, he's got a caterpillar for a brain or a soggy Cheeto or a broken Oreo. The dude just wasn't all there in the head, right? Even in the little jokes he made, the little things he said, and his mannerisms and his facial expressions, you can tell the dude is not there, man. His loyalty does not lie with y'all. His loyalty lies with whatever the voices in his head are telling him. Pops was old enough that he could move around. He could still go to chow. He could still do these things. But when it came to violence, be ashamed of yourself. You put your hands on this man. Not to mention, he wasn't the confrontational type. Well, the one dude I just told y'all about is always getting into it with things, and I'd have to see the MS-13 dudes calm him down because he's creating situations for all of them. He's creating situations that, because of his dumb ass, these dudes are going to push a knife on somebody, kill somebody, and go sit in 23-1, 5-6 years in confinement with no one to talk to because of something stupid he did. So they were constantly putting him in check. A couple different times I'd seen bigger dudes that had weight, put hands on the man. It wouldn't change anything. A couple days later, he'd be right back to it. He quit, jump into a beef with the blood, jump into the beef with the crib. And then the main MS-13 dude would have to go over there and say, hey, we're going to handle it internally. He's going to apologize. We're not trying to go to war. The crazy thing when you think about what I just said with them going to war is that they had less numbers than anybody. But sometimes less is more.
Right.
Yeah, I said it. Less is more. And let me break that down to you. Somebody once told me, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. You do the math. They both add up to $1. But which one's more valuable to you, 25 pennies or a quarter? Them 4 quarters being 4 solid guys. Them 100 pennies being just 100 whoever's. Don't know how many of them are going to hold up. The few select dudes they did have around them were solid.
Yeah,
they're
willing to go down. Yeah,
they would. They break out the 4 quarters, and them 4 dudes could do so much damage, no matter their size, because it wasn't about the size of the man. It wasn't about the size of the dog in the fight. It was about the size of the fight in the dog.
Right.
And them MS-13 dudes had done heinous things these other guys could only imagine. You shoot, you hit somebody, you see it from a distance. There's a big difference between that and being face to face with the man that you're hurting. Face to face with the man as he loses his life. There's a big difference. Pops would usually throw in. And when I mean usually, like if they were making something to eat, he knew they were going to bring him some food. He had some people in the outside world that took care of him, made sure he ate. If they were making something, they'd stop by and say, hey, what's up, Pops? You hungry? You going to eat something tonight? Yeah. Here, take this, take that. He'd give him a couple little items, whether it be 2 soups or a summer sausage or a tub of cheese.
You putting something in, though.
He's going to do something to contribute because at the same time, you don't
That's
want
what
to
a real man do, yeah.
Middle of the night, one night, a whole bunch of scuffling takes place, a whole bunch of arguing. We're all dead asleep. It's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We all hear it. I hear it. I know a lot of other guys heard it because when I got up and went to my door, my cell door, and I looked around, it's dark in here for the most part, except for a couple small lights they keep on for the guards to see. I'm looking around, and all I can see is like silhouettes and people's faces at the door looking out, trying to figure out what the hell's going on upstairs in Pop's cell, man. Who's Pop's up there fighting? Pause.
Oh, man, fighting. Jay,
what the hell's going on with Pops up there, man? I know the little crazy MS-13 dude ain't pressing Pops like that. Next morning, before I can even fully get my teeth brushed and get out my cell, I come out and I look up, and all the MS-13 dudes are at Pop's cell. Question of Pops, what's going on? What's going on? He tells them nothing. There's nothing. We had a little disagreement, and he's a man of few words. He's not going to say a whole lot. He doesn't want no violence. At the same time, the dude, he's beefing with his MS-13, so maybe in the back of his mind, he's thinking, man, if I tell them me and this dude are beefing, even if I'm an old man, they're going to do something to me because he's MS-13.
Destroy me. Yeah.
They asked the MS-13 dude what's going on, and I'm leaving names out of today's story just because of how the story ends. They asked the cellmate, hey, man, what happened? He said, man, the old man's crazy. He said, I got up in the middle of the night, and I was eating some food, and he started trying to accuse me of taking his food. Like, dude's crazy, man. He's old. See, now, don't listen to nothing what he say. He started cursing at me, so I started cursing back. But that's it, man. That's it. The old man, no, that's not really what happened. And then he just gets quiet. I guess the fear of they're going to retaliate on me because he's MS-13 kicked in, so he just deaded the conversation till the night. Everything's good. It was just a misunderstanding. Everything goes back to the normal routine. I told you, these are not dudes you beef with. This ain't your little dude from your neighborhood that's got a stolen pistol on him. This ain't the dude in jail that's known for fighting. These are dudes that are known for pushing that blade. And they're not like the average person stabs somebody that just wants to put fear in you. They want to take you all the way up out of here. If they're hitting you with that knife, every time they're doing it with the intention of killing you. I'd say a better part of maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Can't truly remember. We hear it again, but this time it's not 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's probably 11:30, 12. We ain't been locked down but about an hour now, and we hear all this arguing. And the one MS-13 dude comes over his door and yells down to the cell. Pop said, "Hey, what y'all doing down there? Y'all need to calm down, chill with the bullshit. Stop. You know what I mean? Like, let them know whatever y'all got going on down there, y'all need to chill out." And it gets quiet. Then about 30 minutes later, you hear scuffling, and it sounds like a one-way fight. You don't hear several sets of sneakers hitting the floor. You hear one set scuffle a couple times, and you can just hear, that there's a fight taking place. Just like last time, the following morning, I get up, I go to my door. This time, I can wait to brush my teeth. I need to see what's going on. All these dudes, they squad up, they go down there. The one MS-13 dude was in the cell with Pops and all this happened. He's still in the cell. They pull Pops out the cell, walking down the tier and walking him out to the day room underneath the staircase where the guards can't see, where if your cell ain't really located in that area, you can't see. It's a blind spot. Where I live is cell 20. If I walk out my cell and keep walking forward, bong, I'm going to hit my head on the steps because the steps run straight up like this in front of my cell. They run up the side wall down the top tier.
Got you.
They got Pops underneath the cell and they questioning what's going on. And Pops keeps telling them it's no problem. Pops got punch marks all over his face, bruises. With the old people, you don't really got to hit them hard to mess them up. Like putting a fist on an old man's face is going to do a lot of damage. Way more than it would do to me or you if you got hit in the face, right? Mm-hmm. Pops' face is different shades of greens and yellows and purples. And this isn't just in one spot. This is in multiple spots where something done happened. Meanwhile, you still got MS-13 dudes on the top tier, and they're not letting dude come out the cell. Because the other dudes got Pops down in the staircase, talk to him about what's going on, and I guess he told him, keep him in the cell until we figure out what's going on, right? Pops tells him, every night since this dude has been in my cell, he just goes in my locker and just takes my food. We'll be watching TV, because he ain't got a TV. We'll be sharing the TV, and he'll be like, I don't want to watch that. He'll just change whatever I'm watching. Like behind closed doors, dude is taking advantage of me. He's eating up all my food. He uses my cosmetics. He's taking over my TV. Like, he treats me like I'm nobody in the cell. So I told him, I caught him in my box. At first he was sneaking and do it. Now he's just going right in front of me and just taking my food. And I told him, you can't do that. My people pay for that food. That's a little bit of food I got. You can't just eat my food like that.
Yeah.
Dude didn't like his answer and jumped on him.
This nigga bold as fuck, knowing that everybody rock with him. And he like, man, I'm fucking, man. I need that. Damn.
Beat him up on the bed. Old man.
Beating up an old man.
Dudes, what's going on? And I see the one dude, he looks up at the top tier, and he nods his head. And them dudes went from standing outside that door to running up in that cell, shutting the door. And it sounded like a construction zone. It just sounded like they were jackhammering. And just...
Man, I love hearing like a good justice story. Nigga said it sounded like a construction. Boom, 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 boom.
No telling what they had that they were doing up there, right? And it's the top tier, so it's a solid concrete floor above you. You know it's bad when you can hear the echo of a body hitting concrete that's probably 16 inches thick, and you can hear it thud from downstairs.
Ooh.
45 seconds, maybe a minute passes, they push the button, the door slides open, and these dudes start coming out. You're talking 5, 6 guys that just went in the cell. They all have one thing in common. They've all got blood on them. The dude they messed up, he's not coming out the cell. They go ahead and call child. These guys go down to their cells, change clothes, throw the bloody clothes away. They go check on Pops. Pops' face is all messed up. Now they got to figure out how to duck what they just did to Homeboy, which is one of their own. He's MS-13. The guy they just will get into completely attacked is one of theirs. And Pops ain't nothing. Pops just an old man. I'm calling him Pops, not his name. I'm calling him Pops. Pops just an old man, but they went to bat for him because one of their own was doing something that was completely against everything.
Yeah, that they stood for.
I know they're going to say they're known for heinous crimes. They're known for doing this. They're known for doing that. How can they stand for something?
But it's still like, we don't do that. We don't beat up old. We might get you and do this to your family. But when we ain't here, we don't just beat up helpless old people. I guess that's just, and again, like Jay was saying at the beginning, you gotta respect that, bro. You gotta respect that these niggas handled that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just let this man be like, oh yeah, fuck him, man. It is what it is. You gotta respect that. That's how prison
goes. When you get there, you're not gonna disrespect me. Or it's the principles, or the morals, or all these different things that, to be honest, none of us really had a whole lot of in the streets, or we wouldn't be there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They go to chow, and the dude they attack, he ain't coming out of the cell. He's staying in the cell. I fall back, go to the microwave, make me some oatmeal, put my little brown sugar in it, add some milk to it, scoop of peanut butter. It's my protein for the day. I'll go out and lift weights afterwards. We come back in, I made my oatmeal, I'm in my cell, drinking my coffee, waiting on them to call outside rec. When I hear the door pop, you can always hear it's called a slider. When it slides open, it goes sklang. It makes this loud noise when it stops. We'll go door, look out, and I see 2 guards walking down the top tier. They're not aware of what's going on, but what they are aware of is that it's their time to do their rounds. They have to walk around every so often, take a glance in cells, make sure everybody's alive. Ain't nobody chiseled through the wall. Ain't nothing crazy going on in the cells. Ain't nobody tattooing, or they're not going to catch nobody in the middle of nothing. They try to be sneaky, but that door always gives them away when they come in. They go to walk by Pop's cell, and Pops ain't in the cell. He's sitting out in the pod at the table with the MS-13 dudes. They walk by a cell, and I see them back up real quick and immediately jump on the microphone and say, we need medical, we need medical. We need officers, we need medical over here now, right? They turn to us and tell all of us, lock down, everybody lock down. Go back in your cells. If you've returned from chow, return back to your cells, go in your cells now. If you're not in your cell, it's a 229. You will be hit with a charge, unauthorized area. Everybody back in their cells. We all go back in, but now I'm like, man, what is going on up here? What have they done to this dude? Pops has got to go up the staircase and go into the cell where now these guards are at, where more guards are responding to, where medical's responding to. They take one look at Pops' face, tell him, step back, go ahead and put him in handcuffs. They put the old man in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Because if you had to guess on what's going on inside there, and you take a look at his cellmate, either they were both attacked, or the old man attacked him, or he was attacked because of the old man. Doesn't take, a very bright person to put together what's going on here. But this old man definitely has something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
I used to love this about a lot of the Spanish men. I talk to them all day. I know a good amount of Spanish. I know enough to understand what somebody's saying. I understand better than I speak. But I used to love when the white officers would try to question a Spanish guy, and the first thing they would say is, no habla inglés. Tell them I don't understand. No comprende. I don't speak. Whatever, right? No understand. No, just all that. No comprende, no hable, no problem. I don't understand what you're saying. I can't speak what you're saying, but there's no problem here. So they escort the old man up out of there, take him to the sergeant's office, get a Spanish-speaking officer in there, trying to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, the nurses have been in the cell for a while now, and they're not coming out. They're in there, and they're doing this, and I can tell, they're in there doing CPR and all these other things, trying to help this dude to attack this old man. A couple minutes later, they come rolling in, just like with the other dude, and they got this metal stretcher that they lift up, and the legs fold out. And when they do, it's got wheels on it. They'll pick somebody up off the ground, slide this board under them to keep from disturbing them, pick the board up, lay it on the stretcher, lift it up, and then they'll roll them out. Roll them into the elevator, down, boom, down the boulevard to medical, and from there straight to the infirmary. We stayed on lock for a while. They come in and start rounding up all the Spanish dudes because they know there's no possible way these MS-13 dudes allowed a black dude, a white dude, an Asian dude, anybody outside of their organization to do this to one of their own. If that was the case, there'd be a whole lot of people in here hurt. Yeah. Some of them and a whole lot of other guys hurt, right? So they know it's an internal incident.
They doing math.
A couple of days we come off lock and dudes will go talk to God. Man, what happened with the dude in the cell? Blah, blah, blah. It gets out. He was stabbed several times and his skull was fractured. Looks like somebody literally was jumping up and down on his head as it was, he was on the floor. He's unresponsive. He's in medical. He's in a coma. He's been taken from here to Southside Regional Hospital where they don't know what's going to happen with him. They rolled the cameras back, and every single guy that went in that cell, because this cell was in plain view of where the camera's right above the phones.
They ain't grease it up.
360, constantly swivels. The great part about where I lived is my cell was out of view. The camera couldn't turn enough to catch my cell. It would get about here, and then it would spin back. They see all the dudes that go in the cell. They come in, lock all of them up. That would be the end of it. I heard little things here and there that the dude was refusing to come out the hole because he feared for his life. He didn't die. He eventually woke up, all messed up, more messed up in the head now than he was before because he suffered brain trauma. All the dudes that went in that cell all got locked up on investigation. They disappeared. I'm going to guarantee you they went to street court because even if the guy didn't want to press charges, they had all of them on camera going in the cell. Yeah. The stab wounds, the trauma to his head. Y'all didn't go in there and play a game of spades. Come out.
Them was some niggas that probably wasn't gonna go home for a long, if at all, a long time. So it's like, yeah, y'all go in there and go ahead and destroy this nigga, destroy him.
Just fall down on a knife several times and crack his own skull. After that, man, a lot of dudes that were in that building, and they had already struck fear in guys in the past because of the level of violence they had shown. But after that, I didn't see no issues with them. in anybody for a while. But the problem with prison's constantly turning over.
Yeah.
So say me and you get to fighting today, and I win. And after this, I get into 6 more fights, and I win. In 2 years from now, if I'm in that same pod, that's not going to mean much of nothing.
Yeah, because there's new niggas that's there, new niggas that's left.
The guys that were in there on the days I got to fighting aren't in there no more. Now you've got new dudes coming in that don't know me from a hole in the wall. Now today's story doesn't just apply to the MS-13s. I've seen blood dudes hurt blood dudes because they were doing stuff that didn't represent them the right way. I've told y'all stories on GDs and Crips that found out members of their organizations were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. I've seen them go to the lengths of, you're going to cover that tattoo by the time we cut out, like the time we come out for rec, or we're going to cut it off of you. I've seen them damn near kill their own. But I guess they've got their own rules, their own laws they abide by that don't apply to everybody else. Just remember, when you sign up for the gang, you sign up for everything that comes with it. And signing up for it, the laws that apply to me and the other guys that aren't gang related no longer apply to you. You got a new rule book, and you will abide by it or you will be held accountable. I dealt with them dudes, some of them dudes afterwards for many years, and like I said, they didn't have the most numbers on the compound, but they didn't disrespect people like a lot of the other gangs. They didn't just randomly cause trouble like a lot of the other gangs, but they stood up for theirs. And they stood up for what they felt was right, regardless of what they were convicted for on the streets, regardless of what led them to the penitentiary. Amongst themselves, they were true to their code, and there was a lot of unity. That was something I could respect. I could respect it no matter what the outcome was. They were going to ride for their beliefs. With that old man, he didn't take no oath. He didn't have no gang tattoos. He'd never been part of none of that. But that whole entire gang knew, that can't fly, man. We can't be represented by somebody that's going to take advantage of an old man, beat up an old man.
Right.
We can't let this dude continue to rock with us, knowing this type of stuff he does. He wouldn't have done that in front of us. That's why he was doing it once the cell door closed. That's why they did what they did to him. Not just because they wanted to show everybody this is the right thing to do when somebody messes with an old person, but I think they did it also to show the other members this is what can happen to you.
Yeah, if you
decide
play.
You want to take advantage of somebody old. This is what.
Or you want to flip, or you want to do anything out of getting out of body. That being said, man, you know this video is long enough. Thank y'all so much for watching. Like the video, sub up, comment up, interesting in the channel, man. I love you. I appreciate y'all. I'm grateful for y'all, and we gone, man. ADD, let do it.